23rd of August, Rabbi Moore, Parsha Hashavua.
I guess Rabbi Moore then comes.
No, he's coming. Rabbi Moore, you are, no, now I see you. Can you hear me, Rabbi Moore? I think he can't hear. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
1 second. Just 1 second. Okay. Hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear
I
me?
hear you now.
Very nice. Good. Okay, 1 second. Okay, let's go. We are to Parsha Lamed. Did we? We actually don't know if we did the Rashi here. Did we do the Rashi on Chof Tes?
I think we did.
I think we did. Yes. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, we did.
Okay. Who's out of time we up to? Who read yesterday?
I think I did.
Okay, fine. So Pasuk Lamed. By the way, I came up with something amazing yesterday. It's not actually really, it's Nogea to this Pasuk, but it's more directly to Nogea, it's more directly applicable to what we had in Parshas Kisovai. Because it says, Rashi mentioned over here that 6 tribes went up on Har Gerizim and 6 tribes went up on Har Ebal. And the Pasuk says over there in Parshas Kisovai that Levi is mentioned as one of the tribes that went up on Har Gerizim, and Yosef. And the others, it's one of those 6. And yet the Pasuk says that the Leviim then turned towards Har Gerizim and Leviim turned towards Har Ebal. So it's much with the Leviim were down below. So I have a Chumash over here which quotes a Tosefta in Maseches Sotah, where the Tosefta asked this question: how could it be whether Leviim are up top or Leviim down below? So the Tosefta answers 2 answers. One is that the Ziknei Kahuna or Leviah were down below, means those over 60, and the ones above were those between 20 and 60 or whatever, whoever, or the rest of the Leviim. Okay, that's one answer. And the other answer is all those who were suitable or of the age to serve in the Mishkan, okay, Kohanim and Leviim, they were down below, and all the rest were up on top. Okay, now I just had this, yes, I call it Siyata Dishma, inspiration to decide to make a calculation. As we know, all the Jewish people at the second counting of the Jewish people, wasn't actually second, but the later counting of the Jewish people in the plains of Moab, which is mentioned in Parshas Pinchas, came to a sum total of 601,730. Now, if you add to that Levi, yeah, then Levi was 23,000. Albeit the 20 Leviim were counted from those from a month and up, not like the rest of the Jewish people counted from 20 to 60. Right? The Leviim were counted from age a month up, and the Chayra up to 120 or whatever. And they total 23,000. Okay? Now, I made a little calculation that the Torah says explicitly which 6 tribes were on Har Gerizim and which 6 tribes were on Har Ebal. Now, making that calculation, I came up with a discrepancy. Is it my copy over here? No. I came up with a calculation that the ones on Har Evo were about 307,000. Okay, and the ones on Har Grizim, right? If you include Levi, they came to 315,000. And if you don't include Levi, okay, then you come out to 293,000 or something like that. So there's a bit of a discrepancy between the numbers of how many went Har Grizim and how went Har Eva. But then I made an interesting calculation. In Parshas Bamidbar, it says that the Levium were then 22,300. And it makes a calculation in Parshas Nosoi of how many of those were eligible to do the service. And they come to a total of 8,580. Anyway, if you make a if according to that, if you make a relative calculation that from 23,000 Levium, you're going to have 8,850 those who are eligible for service between the ages of 30 and 50. So if you detract or subtract from the total number of Levium of 23,000, you subtract 8,850. And you add it, one second. So the 8,850, those were the ones down below because they were eligible for service. And the Levium up top were all the other ones. Okay, so it comes to about 14,000 something or other. It comes out that the 6 tribes on Har Grizim and the 6 tribes on Har Evo came to almost exactly the same number. So they were exactly the same number.
What do you mean almost exactly?
Well, it depends. It comes out as a discrepancy of 20, according to my calculation. It could be there were that many of Levium, because you can give it a, but kids say it comes out that
Close, very close.
Exactly, very, very close. The number of people, of the members of the 6 tribes on Har Grizim and the 6 tribes on Har Evo came out, each one exactly the total, the same number. Anyway, that was the interesting point. Okay, we will continue. Okay. Meir, Pasuk Lamed.
Okay, it says, I guess, okay. Hello, Hema be'ever hayarden acharei derech nevo hashemesh be'eretz haknani hayoshev be'arava mul hagilgal harava mul hagilgal etzel elonei moreh. Okay. So it says, hello, aren't they on the other side of the Jordan? Let's see. Derech Mavo. On the path where the sun goes?
Right. Now, this is an interesting phrase. Rashi is going to dwell on this.
Oh, okay.
But acharei means beyond. That's what it means in this sense. It's beyond the way of the setting sun.
Setting sun. Okay, the way the sun goes.
That's what it literally means.
Right. Okay.
It's beyond the way of the setting sun. But Voy HaShemesh, when Shemesh Ba means Shemesh is setting, coming in.
Okay, in the land of the Canaan.
Mayor, please lean forward a little.
Oh, okay, sorry. In the land of the Canaanite, whoa, sorry about that, that live in the plain, Barava, Mul, facing Gilgal, Eitzel, next to the plain of Moreh. Elone, plains of Moreh. Okay, so that's the pasuk. And Rashi says, "Halo hema, are they not? Natan bahem siman. He gave them a sign for them."
For them, we're talking about Har Gerizim and Har Ebal. Where
Oh,
are they?
okay. Okay. Acharei, which he said I think was beyond.
So Rashi's going to explain this now.
Okay. Achar ha'rava ha'yardain harbe v'hal'a l'meirachok. So
Right.
it was a, let's see.
Halon min hayard and tzad ma'arov.
Okay, so it was a large distance.
Acharei haboras hayard and harbe. V'halol l'meirachim. It's far beyond.
Far beyond.
You crossed over the Yarden.
Mhm.
Zeu
Okay.
lashon acharei. Right? Kol mokem shnema acharei muflaghu. Now Rashi's dwelling is touching on a point. Normally it's with respect to time. We sometimes have the lashon achar hadvarim ha'ela, or sometimes it's acharei. So basically, grammatically, acharei is a plural of achar. Many achars. That's a okay. So Rashi says in Parsha, where's it? Bereshis, by the Brisbane Absorim, I think. Let me just quickly check it out. Second. Just 1 second. So Rashi points out that sometimes the achar refers to something a short time after, and acharei means a long time after.
Oh, that's interesting.
Okay, I'm just going to check up over here. Yeah, by the Brisbane Absorim, that's the first time. And yeah, you have it 4 times in Sefer Bereshis. Achar advar meila. Rashi says achar is immediate. Just let me check up over here.
Really?
I think it's in Bereshis chapter 15. Also, 1 second. Yeah. So we bring to the Medrash. Rashi says in Bereshis chapter 15. Pasuk Aleph, Pasuk 1. Achad var meila. Kol mokem shema achas samuch. Acharei muflag. Every time it mentions the word say achar, means one achar, means that's near, it was close in time. Acharei, many achars, right? And muflag means it's quite a way off in time. So Rashi explains there, achad var meila shenasu le'neis zeh shehorag es hamalachim. So it says that Avraham Avinu was worried that after Hakadosh Baruch Hu done this miracle for him, and he defeated the four kings, he was worried that maybe he'd already received his schar and he didn't have any children. So maybe what's going to happen? Okay. So therefore, Kosh Baruch Hu told him, "Don't worry, we're going to have a child." And so that's what it's. Rashi mentions that achar over there. The source is a medrash. So Rashi seems to be referring to that over here as well.
But why is Abraham wrong?
Sorry?
Why was Abraham wrong?
Wrong?
Yeah, you said Abraham was concerned that he had received that great miracle, and therefore he used up his schus, and he wasn't going to have children. So, what was wrong with his reasoning?
Because the schar which was coming to Avram, all his allegiance to Hakadosh Baruch Hu, was far, far beyond than just winning the battle against the four kings. And therefore he was entitled to have a child as well.
So he was correct that he did suffer because of that miracle.
Some of his schar was used up, for sure.
Uh-huh.
But it was, I'm not sure you're going to say that Kosh Baruch answered him, "Don't worry." The Lashon of the Pasuk is, "Don't worry." Kosh Baruch told him, "Scharcha harbe moed." Your reward is great, very great. So Kosh Baruch is telling him, you may have used up some of your schar for winning this battle, but don't worry, there's a lot left over. Okay?
Okay.
Just 1 second. Okay, so the Chayra Rashi is saying the same thing over here. Acharei, when we get as far as a landmark is concerned, right? The place, Rashi is saying Acharei means far away, far over, far beyond. Now, also we're going to see in a second, Rashi is going to point out that the term Acharei and Derech Mavah Shemesh are not connected. It's two separate statements. Acharei, Derech Mavah Shemesh. Okay? Let's see Rashi further.
I'm troubled by this concept of that you're saying that Abraham went and fought the battle and he loses out because of that. Isn't it a mitzvah that he did? Doesn't he get schar for having rescued Lot?
Let's see the Lashon over here. The pasuk is.
Where are you?
I'm in Bereshis chapter 15, pasuk 1.
Okay.
So the Lashon of the pasuk is as follows. Achad dvarim ha'ila. After these words, Hayadvar Hashem al Avram b'machazeh leimar. Kosh Baruch Hu spoke. The word of Hashem came to Avram in a vision. Let him say, Al tira Avram, do not be afraid. Anochi mogen loch, I am protecting you. Scharcho harbe moed, your reward is very great. Okay, that's what Hashem said to him. So Rashi explains, and I'll repeat what Rashi mentions over here. 1 second. Is it not appearing? Oops. Oh. Here we go. That's where I wanted to quote this. So Rashi goes on to explain that. Avram was worried and saying, maybe I already received reward for all my righteous deeds. Therefore, the Omnipresent said to him, Avram, do not be afraid, Avram. I'm going to protect you from any punishment. You're not going to be punished for all those people whom you have killed. While you're worried you've already received your reward for the miracles I did for you, that you overcame the enemies against all natural odds. Your reward is very great. So it seems the way Rashi is explaining, Avraham Avinu was worried about two things. He was worried about that he's going to be punished for all the people he's killed. And number two, that he has already received a reward. He's used up all his merits by the fact that he won this battle in a supernatural manner. So therefore, he received schar for that. Therefore, he was worried he'd used up already his merits. So you haven't used up your merits either.
So the question I asked was, didn't he do a mitzvah? Isn't he in fact engaged in a mitzvah, and doesn't he therefore get reward for the mitzvah?
Meaning, so you're saying as follows: a person is commanded to do something by Kodesh Baruch Hu, but he has to endanger himself to do so. Will the fact that he's saved from the danger be held against him? He's fulfilling what HaKadosh Baruch Hu told him to do.
No, that's not exactly what I'm asking. What I'm asking is, will the fact that he did what Hashem told him to do give him additional merit?
That for sure.
So why is he worried that he's used up his merit? He just got extra merit because of what he did.
But maybe all that doesn't count. All the merits is for what he fulfilled Hashem's mitzvah by going to battle, and for everything else, all the good deeds he'd done in the past. Maybe that's weighed down by the fact that he had to be, Kodesh Baruch Hu had to make such a miracle for him that he won the battle against these four mighty kings. But the point is, the chayra, that's what I thought you were asking. You were asking, Hashem tells a person to do something, and it involves danger. Hashem told him to do it, despite the danger, go ahead and do it. Then the chayra is part and parcel of the deal, let's call it. Hashem has to protect him, that he should be able to fulfill the mitzvah. Hashem told him to do it. Now, the Moshe, I'll give an example. Okay, it's not clear exactly whether actually Hashem told him to go into the fire or not. But Avraham Avinu went into the fire. Nimrod threw Avraham Avinu into the fire, and he was saved. Now, he did so because he wanted to give out, he didn't actually go in. Nimrod threw him in. But nevertheless, he was saved from that. The truth is, from Chazal, it's mashma, it's actually a machlokes, that him going into the fire in your custom was considered one of the tests of Avraham Avinu. It's considered one of his 10 tests, according to many Mefarshim. So obviously, he was involved in that. It means if he'd said to Nimrod, okay, I back out, right, you're God, whatever, then nothing would have happened. Nimrod wouldn't have done anything to it. But because he insisted, so Avraham Avinu realized he was going to be thrown into the fire. Nevertheless, this is what Hashem required him to do. And therefore, maybe Avraham Avinu realized that I can do that and I don't have to be worried about it. Obviously, he didn't necessarily know he was going to be saved, but he realized he was willing to give up his life. because this was a fundamental of faith, and Avram faith was of that strength that he could do it, that he was willing to give up his life for the sake of the principle that Hashem is the one God.
So let's say there's no merits. Let's say we have a clean slate. We have person A, Ploni Almoni, and he has a clean slate. He's got no merits. He's got no demerits. Hashem comes to him and says, Ploni, put your hand in this fire. Ploni says, okay. He puts his hand in the fire. Hashem performs.
So that's what I'm saying.
What?
If Hashem told him to do it, the Hashem has to also take care of him that he shouldn't get burnt.
Right, and Hashem does. The miracle is performed. His hand is not hurt. Now it seems to me what you're saying is that Hashem says, "Okay, I just did a miracle for you. Therefore, you get a demerit for that. You're going to hell."
No, so that obviously is not the case. That's what I'm pointing out. Now, I hear this is what you're asking. So how could Avram Avinu, if by fighting against the four kings, Avram Avinu was fulfilling what Hashem wanted of him, right? So how could it be that he would lose all his merits as a result? I mean, it's part and parcel of the fact that he's doing the mitzvah of Hashem is that Hashem takes care of him. So obviously he's not going to be lost out. That's what you're asking.
That's right.
I don't have a good teretz on it.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Oh, it's a very good question you're asking. Okay. Let us continue. We didn't finish the Rashi here yet. Yeah?
Oh, we didn't finish the first one, Acharei? Oh.
So, yeah. Okay. Every time it says Acharei, it means far away, far off, in time or in place. Okay?
Good.
Yeah, let's continue. Derech Mavoy Hashemesh.
So in the direction of the sun, L'halan min hayardain. Let's be beyond the Jordan. Okay.
Tzad Ma'arav.
Tzad Ma'arav, in the side of the west. Okay.
Towards the west.
Towards the west. The Ta'am Hamikra Mokiach. The Ta'am, the reason?
No, Ta'am HaMikra, the notes, the cantillation notes of the pasuk of the pasuk Moichiach, that proves Shehem Shnei Dvorim. They're two separate things. Shenin Kedu B'Shnei Ta'amim. They are punctuated with two different notes. Acharei Nokud B'Pashto. Acharei is punctuated with a pashto. Got the line up there, a left-facing line on top of the yud. You see, you have like a line. That's the term. It's called a pashto.
Okay.
Parsha.
And then a mapach.
Pashto, right? Pashto. Okay, and then under derech is what's called Yesi.
Oh, you see? Okay.
Derech nokud b'mashpel, hu dogush. See, dalet is dogush, means it's like a he explains, right, that it's a separate, means even though there's a yud, which is an open syllable, okay?
Okay.
Right? The dalet has a dogush, which means it sounded like See, we have lost actually, maybe Teimanim some have a difference between a dalet with a dogish and a dalet without a dogish, so different sounds. But if you think just imagine there was a base there.
Right.
Not after acharei, right? Open if it'd been connected, it would have said acharei verech, not berech. So here, derech has a dogish and it means it's fully sounded, which means it's like a beginning of a phrase not connected to the previous word.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's what Rashi's pointing out. Okay, that's what Rashi says. That being all one thing, after derech mavaya shemesh, it would have been acharei would have been punctuated with a meshares, which means a tam, a note which is connecting to the next. The shofar hafuch. Now I'm not sure what he means by shofar hafuch. Mapach. The derech b'pashto. Oh, it would have said as follows: Alahei ma bevayadei acharei derech mevaya shemesh. Means acharei would have had a mapach, and derech would have had pashto, because those two go together. But since it says acharei, and then it says derech mevaya shemesh, that the acharei is not a meshares, but it is a what's the other term for it? Mavdil, I think it's called. It's a separation. It indicates a separation from that word to the next word.
Oh, okay.
So that's basically what Rashi said. Which means mapach, the derech, the pashto. The Rafa, it would have been without a dogish. So therefore, Rashi proves that there's two separate phrases. So acharei means far beyond, derech mavah shemesh in the direction of the setting sun, which is way over to the west. Let me check how I translated it. Go. Yeah, these are on the other side of the Jordan and beyond, in the direction of the setting sun. These places are Be'eva Yarden Acharei, beyond. Derech Mavah Shemesh, in the direction of the setting sun. Okay, which means to the west. Okay?
Okay.
Right, let's finish the passage. Mul HaGilgal.
Rachok min HaGilgal. So that's what, a distance from Gilgal?
Right.
Okay.
Now, Rashi follows his rule that the word mul always indicates at a certain distance. Doesn't mean right next to it. Mul means at a distance from Gilgal.
Okay, and then it says Elonei Moreh, the plains of Moreh. Shechem, who? Oh, this is Shechem. Okay, Ne'emar, Shenemar, that it says, Ad Makom Shechem, until the site of the place of Shechem, Ad Elon Moreh, until the plain of Moreh.
Right, the Elon plain of Moreh. Okay, so basically the pasuk's telling you that these two mountains are well into Eretz Yisrael. It's not near the Jordan. It's way into the thing, towards more to the west, far from Gilgal, and near the the Elon plain of Moreh, Elon Moreh. So I don't know, the present day Elon Moreh is also near Shechem? I have no idea. I believe it is.
Don't know.
Okay. Fine, we'll have to stop here.
Okay, very good.
Tomorrow, Lou, you're not going to be here?
Right, in Yirtzeh Hashem, tomorrow I'll be at the farm.
Okay. So I'll call you on the phone, okay?
Okay, very good.
And Thursday, I don't think I'll be able to make it to give the share. So tomorrow I'll give over the phone, Thursday not, and then we'll meet again on Sunday. Back into
Okay.
the...
All right, well then have a good Shabbos.
You too. Very good, and a good Chodesh
Oh, yeah. It's Rosh Chodesh.
coming up. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Have a great day. Be well.
Okay, be well, Yom Tov.
Take care. Yom Tov.
Okay, and bye now.